Hello everyone, this is Ketisha. In this video, I'm going to go through the Combined Science Chemistry paper 2 from 2024. This paper 2 is 1 hour 15 minutes long and has 6 questions, and it's tested on the topics rate and extent of chemical reaction, organic chemistry, chemical analysis, and chemistry of the atmosphere and using resources. Question 1 is on the topic of organic chemistry. Alkanes and alkenes are hydrocarbons. Define the term hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon refers to the term carbon and hydrogen molecules. So hydro stands for hydrogen, carbons for referring to the carbons. So define the term hydrocarbon are molecules that are made up of only carbon and hydrogen atoms only. The general formula for alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. Determine the formula of alkane with 10 carbon atoms. So if N equals 10, so carbon is 10, H2n, 2n is 2 times 10, which is 20 plus the 2, that gives me 22. So hydrogen is 22. So C 10, H 22. Next question. 1.3. Crude oil is a mixture of hydrocarbons. Figure 1 represents industrial equipment used to separate crude oil into fractions. Now, this process is called fractional distillation. So, it's called distillation. So, crude oil is pumped in here and it's heated. When it's heated, it doesn't come directly in contact with the heating source, otherwise it will burn. So what happens is the crude oil boils off, and we call this the boiler. And the vapor enters here and it travels through this column. Now, decreasing temperature, so the temperature is lowest here and high here, which makes sense because that's closest to the heat source. Now, the bit that comes out on the top is usually gases, and the right at the bottom is tar or crude oil, which is not broken down, which is simply liquid. Explain how crude oil is separated into fractions. Use figure 1. So the crude oil pumped into the boiler and is heated till it vaporizes. The vapors enter the column and rises through these trays, and as it rises, it condenses depending on their boiling point. So the ones with the lowest boiling point on the top, the ones with the higher boiling point on the bottom, and hydrocarbons with smaller molecules are usually on the top and the bigger molecules are the bottom. The answer the crude oil is heated, causing some of the hydrocarbons to vaporize. So you need to mention that it is heated here, and then you need to mention that it is the hydrocarbons vaporize. That gives you actually 2 marks. The column has a temperature gradient, so the hydrocarbon or fractions condense at different heights or temperatures in the column. You need to mention that it is condensing at different heights or temperatures, and the hydrocarbon fractions condense at their boiling points at different heights in the column for the 4th mark. Next part. The alkane molecule C14H30 can be cracked to produce smaller molecules. Now the word crack is basically referring to the process of cracking, where larger hydrocarbon molecules like this is broken down into smaller hydrocarbon molecules, usually using a catalyst. So balance the equation for the reaction. There's 14 carbons. So there's 8 carbons here, and there's 3. So if I take away 8, 14 minus 8, that gives me 16. No. 14 minus 8 is 6. There you go. So I need to make up 6 carbons on this side. So 2 times C3H6, that will make it 6 carbon, and 8 carbon, that is 14 carbon. That's 30 hydrogen, 18 hydrogen, plus 2 times the 6 is 12. That gives me the 30 hydrogen as well. Propene C3H6 is an alkene. Describe a test for alkenes. Now remember, alkenes are molecules with carbon-carbon double bonds. Now propene, being C3 carbon, would have a carbon-carbon double bond. It can be in the front or on the second, doesn't matter. And that's what propene would actually look like. So 3 carbons, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hydrogen. So how do you test for this double bond? The test for the double bond is by using bromine water. Now bromine water is slightly orange color or brownish in color, and when you add bromine water, the bromine reacts to this. Oops, I made a mistake here. Let me just get rid of that. So there you go. That was the mistake, because it is 6 carbon. So each carbon should have 4 bonds. And the test is the adding bromine water, and the result is that the bromine water changes from orange to colorless. Question 1.6. Polypropene is made from propene. Figure 2 represents the repeating unit for polypropene. Now a repeating unit is called a monomer. Right? What type of substance is polypropene? Now polypropene is a polymer which is made up of many monomers. That brings us to the end of question number 1, and I will see you in question number 2.